Hi everyone, my name is Camilo Munoz, and I'm a theater director based out of Gainesville, Florida. Today we've got some exciting activities that are based on theater games that I like to play with my youth groups here in Gainesville. The primary focus of our time together today will be to learn about the 3 rules of improvisation. Improvisation is a word that helps to describe a form of theater where everything is made up on the spot instead of being based on a pre-written script. Today, we'll look at starting with a couple of warm-up games, then we'll move into looking at the 3 rules of improv, and finally, a quick cool-down game to help us get back into our bodies and move into the rest of our day. We'll start out with a very common first exercise, which is a name game. So for today's name game, I'm going to be asking everyone to share a superpower that either they would like to have, or is just the first superpower that came to mind. So I'll go ahead and do an example of this. Hi, my name is Camilo, and my superpower is camouflage. Now, we're going to add a gesture, a single fluid movement that helps us to show what it is that we're telling. And in theater, it's just as much about showing as it is about telling. So we're going to say everyone's name, say everyone's superpower, and then we have to be able to do their gesture. So I would say, hi, I'm Camilo, and my superpower is camouflage. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and say my name and my superpower along with my gesture. Camilo, camouflage. So now it's your turn to say your name and your superpower and give us a cool gesture. And then everyone will repeat after you, and we'll go around the room and everyone will have an opportunity to share their name and their superpower along with their gesture. Now, we'll move into a more dynamic warm-up. Now, this activity is called walk around the room. And so we're going to begin to just sort of walk around the room and make sure to leave plenty of space between you and other people and walk at a pretty normal pace. This is what we would call about a 5. So within this pace and just sort of walking around, trying not to follow anyone, just kind of finding your own path around the room, our facilitator or director or teacher will go ahead and start to call out some conditions, scenarios, prompts for us to consider and then reflect or show through our changes in how we move, in how our faces look, in how much space we're taking up. So it's a great way to just sort of play pretend together. And we'll start with playing with speed. So right now we're just at a 5. So go ahead and start moving at a 7. So you pick up the pace a little bit. And now move at a 2. So now we move kind of slowly. And this game is typically played silently. Occasionally though, someone might say, move like a tiger. So now we're on all 4s, and perhaps there might be a couple of roars. Roar! Now let's move around like it's a really hot day. Whew. Just wiping off the sweat. It's kind of a slower kind of walk. Oh gosh, it's just so hot out here, fanning myself because I need to cool down. Now, let's move like you're excited to get to where you're going. Okay, so that's a little bit faster, and I look really happy. I have a big smile. I'm looking around. I might even be skipping. Great. Now move around like you're a tiny little mouse. So we get really small and we just kind of walk around, maybe a little bit fast, a little scurrying. See how with each different prompt, we take up different amounts of space, move at different paces, and have different faces. Great. So now that we're all warmed up, we'll go ahead and start learning the 3 rules of improvisation. The first rule we're going to learn is thinking off of the top of your head. What does that mean? So thinking off the top of your head means that you're making things up on the spot. A great game for this is called What's in the Box. So we're going to be passing around an imaginary box around the room, and when you receive the box, the player before you will be asking, "Hey, Camilo, what's in the box?" Well, now I'm going to open the box and see what's inside. It's a bunch of puppies. Whoa! So really, you can say anything that's appropriate for your environment can be in that box. Perhaps, whoa, it's the edge of the universe. Amazing. Or, it's my favorite Minecraft character, right? So there are so many possibilities, and sometimes it's kind of cool to use this as an opportunity to share a bit more about your interests. But again, the point is to think off the top of your head. So there's no pressure to say anything funny, to say any sort of specific thing. Anything will do. For the second rule of improv, we're going to be looking at yes and. Yes and is the concept that we are creating a shared reality, that what's going on in front of us right now is staying consistent, and we are building upon each action, each choice that the players before us in the scene have contributed. We're all contributing together, so we're really going to be sharing this imaginary space, and it helps to make the scenes more interesting if we're able to allow our mind to let go of any ideas we already have and instead pay close attention to what's being offered in the scene. There is a game we can play called Let's Build a Sandwich. And when we're building this sandwich, we're going to be adding toppings. So let's go ahead and start building a sandwich. All right, so we're building a sandwich, and I'm going to add lettuce. Go ahead and add your lettuce and pass the sandwich on to your friend. Why, thank you, Camilo. We're building a sandwich, and there's going to be lettuce and pickles. Awesome. Here you go. So now we give it to our next friend. Thank you, Camilo. We're building a sandwich, and there's going to be lettuce, pickles, and remember, this isn't a sandwich you're going to have to eat. This is just a sandwich that's being ordered by some sort of imaginary customer. And so even if you don't like one of the toppings, it's okay. We're just pretending. So you can add really anything. Let's say I'm going to add some stinky cheese. Ooh. Here we go. So let's keep doing that around the circle until everyone's had a chance to add a topping. And by the end of the round, someone's going to have to memorize all of the toppings that we've put onto the sandwich. It's a really fun way for us to say yes and without having to get into a very complicated scene work. It's a great warm-up for us to really very basically and very practically, literally say yes and. Now, the final rule of improv that we're going to look at today is making your partner look good. In any scene, it's important that the choices that we make allow our friends to make choices that are comfortable for them. So in this game, it's called What Are You Doing? And each person is going to be giving the next person a prompt for something that they're going to be pretending to do. So I'm going to start the game by just miming some sort of action. And miming means doing that action silently, without any props. just your body letting others know what it is that you're doing, kind of like charades. So my next friend in the circle is going to ask me, "Hey Camilo, what are you doing?" And I'm going to say something different than what I'm miming. So while it looks like I'm digging a hole with a shovel, I'm going to give my friend a new prompt, something that I'm not doing. The more different it is from what I'm doing, the better. I'm going to say, "I'm baking cookies." So now my friend, who just asked me, "What are you doing, Camilo?" has heard that Camilo's making cookies. Great. So now Camilo's turn is over. It's our next friend's turn, and they start to mime baking cookies. So I'm gonna stir my bowl of dough, go ahead and grab a chunk, round it out, put it on the tray. Gonna keep on doing that a couple of times until my next friend says, "Hello friend, what are you doing?" "I am writing a novel." Great. So now next friend begins to write a novel, and then they're asked what they're doing, and they say something different than what they're doing to create a prompt for the next person. Out of the 3 games we've played so far, probably the most challenging, but that's why we kind of built up the intensity or the difficulty of the game as we went on. Now we're reaching the end of our session. So in order for us to cool down and kind of return back to Earth, we are going to do 2 activities. The first one is going to be de-rolling, and that's literally like wiping off the dust, the dirt, the emotions, the sensations, whatever it is that we just did, it's gonna get wiped off. Great. Now, we're gonna go ahead and finish, almost like when a dog just gets dried after a bath, we're gonna shake it out. So with the shake out, we have a countdown where we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with each of our limbs, which are our arms and legs. And when we finish doing 5 shakes on each, we'll then do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And as we go, we get a little bit faster with each count. So we'll start at 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now 1 foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So let's do that again, but now we're starting at 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, but now 3. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now 2, and this one's a little faster. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, one more. 1, 1, 1, 1. And if you're playing with younger folks or anyone who has quite a bit of energy, after that, sometimes we all fall down. And we take a bow for an awesome time-making theater game. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about improvisation today. I really appreciate you taking the time, and make sure to give yourselves a big round of applause, or a couple of golf claps or snaps if you prefer a quieter way to celebrate. Until next time, thank you.